My name is Emily, and I'm 36. I made a mistake that echoes in the quiet of my life now. I pushed away the one person who never wavered until he had no choice but to leave. James and I were married for 8 years. Our life wasn't a whirlwind of passion or cinematic moments, but it was steady, warm, real. He was the anchor to my storm, the one who sorted the clothes I left tangled in the dryer, who kneaded my shoulders without me asking, who knew my coffee order black. No sugar and the exact way I liked to be held when the world felt heavy. But familiarity can dim even the brightest connection. Over time, I stopped seeing him as my partner, became part of the scenery, dependable, constant, overlooked. It wasn't sudden, it was fewer goodnight kisses, curt responses. Evenings spent with friends where I didn't think to check in. He saw it, of course. One evening, as we sat on opposite ends of the couch, he asked, "Are you okay?" You feel. Far away, I brushed it off. "I'm just exhausted, James. I need a little room to breathe." He nodded, his eyes searching mine. "All right," he said softly. I meant for a moment. Not forever. I wanted a pause, not an end. But things shifted after that. The warmth between us cooled. Stopped asking where I was headed. Stopped checking if I'd eaten. Stopped brushing his hand against my back. As he passed, I told myself this was freedom, the independence I craved. But the space I asked for grew vast, silent, and hollow. The night he left caught me off guard. We'd had dinner, a quiet Saturday, watching a movie I can't recall. He stood, disappeared into the bedroom, and returned with a small bag slung over his shoulder. I blinked up at him. "Where are you going?" His voice was steady too. Steady. "You wanted space, Emily? I've tried to give it to you. But I think what you really want is a life without us." My heart stopped. "James," he raised a hand, not harsh, just resolute. "I've poured everything I have into you. I thought it was enough. But you don't want me, you want room, so let me go." He leaned down, pressed a kiss to my forehead like he always did, and walked out. No raised voices, no slammed doors, just a quiet that settled into my bones. Days turned to weeks. I waited for a text, a call, anything to show he missed me. Nothing came. The house felt like a shell. His clothes were gone from the closet, his toothbrush missing from the sink, his scent faded from the sheets. I threw myself into distractions, friends, nights out, forced smiles for photos, but the silence trailed me home. It sat with me during dinner, slipped into bed beside me, brewed my coffee each morning black and bitter, just like he drank. One morning I opened a cupboard and saw his mug, a plain white one with a chipped handle. I held it and something broke. I sank to the kitchen floor, clutching that mug, sobbing for the loss of his voice, his laugh, the way he'd murmur, "You're beautiful," when I felt anything but. All I had was that chipped mug and the weight of what I'd done. I reached out. A text. "I miss you." No response. A call that went to voicemail. An email spilling my heart. I didn't mean forever. I was just lost. "I still love you." 2 days later, he replied, "I know you didn't mean forever, Emily, but the space gave me peace. I can't go back to being unseen." He's with someone else now. I saw them online, smiling, her eyes on him in a way I hadn't looked at him in years. It's not just that he moved on, it's that I pushed him to. He was my everything, and I made him feel like nothing. Now, I live with that truth every day. When people ask if I'm dating, I smile and say, "Not yet." Because how do you explain that you lost the love of your life because you asked for space? If you have someone who shows up day after day after day, even in the mundane, even when it's not picture perfect, hold them close. Love isn't always grand gestures or exotic trips. Sometimes it's folded laundry, shared takeout, choosing each other in the quiet moments. I asked for space, and James gave me a lifetime of it. The silence he left behind is louder than I can stand.